We'll start from 5, go up.
Top
Uh,
5 games.
so you know what? You go
Let me
first
tell you.
because I'm still debating on my number 5.
Live, Danny's debating his list.
Well, let me ask you something.
Yeah,
Can I put Mortal Kombat Ultimate on this list? Technically, it
I
it
think so.
it
Well,
won a game award this year. So, you know,
oh, well,
it
yeah, I mean, because you know, had a bunch of new characters and other things
well,
added to it. They
they added a
updating it,
story
right?
mode
So,
too in the summer.
yeah, exactly.
So and they
No,
added
yeah, I think it counts.
All right, sorry, go ahead. Okay, I'm debating still.
Okay.
Number
So,
5.
by the way, I just want to let everybody know all these lists for me, it's been it's been guided, and I did a lot of thinking, a lot of praying to Matthew McConaughey to get me to help me through these things because one thing I want to share with everybody is Matthew McConaughey's book Green Lights has helped me through 2020, the tail end of 2020. Allow me, if I may, to share a little passage from Green Lights by Matthew
Wait, is this
McConaughey.
a real book?
It's a real book, and I own this book, Danny. I'll send you a picture.
Oh my god, yes. I'm about this in a podcast. Please send me a picture.
I've been in this life for 50 years. Been trying to work out its riddle for 42. I've been keeping diaries of clues to that riddle for the last 35. Notes about successes and failures, joys and sorrows, things that made me marvel and things that made me laugh out loud. How to be fair, how to have less stress, how to have fun, how to hurt people less, how to get hurt less,
I'm sorry.
how to be a good man, how to have meaning in life, how to be more me. Now you see, people,
Holy fuck.
ever since I acquired this book, Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey,
What the
things have become a lot more clear. I've been able to persevere more and get a handle on things. And I just want to thank Matthew McConaughey,
Cocaine and hookers.
not just helping me, but guiding me personally through everything. So I would just want to, put that out there and let you all know that Matthew McConaughey helped me narrow down these lists. And I just want to start that by
What's your number 5?
hey, I mean, do I go number like fuck like
Yeah, this top 5.
all right, okay, so all right, I'll make this, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, I want to,
Just
okay,
rip the band there off.
yeah, so number 5, uh we're gonna go with Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Alright, alright. How come?
I mean, because man, I have a lot of respect for games that are just really polished. And I mean, you when you play Animal Crossing games, you know that day one, the day you buy this game, there's gonna be so much content, so much to do.
Amen.
You could really, like, and I have a lot of respect for games, especially in 2020, that when you buy something day one, you're gonna be like you're good to go for like a long time, like without having to worry about updates and patches and all this other bullshit that we've become far, really accustomed to in these days. And shout out to Animal Crossing because
Shout out to Animal
New
Crossing.
Horizons. Yeah, shout out to Animal Crossing. Shout out to Nintendo. All my bros
You
in
know,
Nintendo.
you heard that conspiracy theory that, Nintendo released COVID to boost up Animal Crossing
I
sales?
heard about that. I
Yeah,
heard about that.
that's the
Uh,
dumbest. That's so
yeah,
dumb.
I don't know about all that. Listen, I'm a man of conspiracy theory, but I don't know about that one.
Like, people weren't gonna buy
Uh,
Animal Crossing, come on.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's be real. Okay, let's be real, people. All right.
Uh,
Okay. My
All
people are out there, bro. All
right,
right, all right. So listen.
I'm gonna add music here to play you off. So hurry up.
Okay, okay, yeah. Animal Crossing number 5. Okay, number 4.
No, 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 no,
I'm
no.
gonna
Wait.
go.
We're going. We're taking
Wait, what?
turns. We're taking turns.
Oh, we're taking turns. We're taking turns. Okay, okay, okay. Go ahead, Danny.
All
I
right.
know. Sorry, I'm fucking big, bro.
No, same. Well, yeah. I need more whiskey. So anyway, we'll do this top five and then
I
we'll
need
get.
more Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, Jesus, that was beautiful. I had some tears in my
Thank
eyes
you.
while you read that. All
Thank you,
right.
Danny.
So my five just changed. So
Okay.
I'm gonna I'm gonna because that's because I gotta go by how much I play
You do
games.
you, Danny. Don't even need to explain. You do you,
Well,
Danny.
I have to explain the change. I'm gonna do an honorable
Okay.
mention because I have an honorable mention for shows because there's too many shows that I watched that were really amazing. But so my honorable mention before I say the five is Streets of Rage 4 because
Mm,
it
mm.
came out of nowhere. And I've played Streets of Rage games in the past, and I don't know if it would be my favorite beat 'em up. I think to me it would still be Turtles in Time, which I hope who I think it was different developers that made Streets of Rage 4, and I'm like if they could make a new Ninja Turtle in this like art style and like the combat, it feels the same and they add like different stuff, but it still all fits within the basic combat of beat 'em ups. I don't know. It just feels like a way more improved beat 'em up, and the music is like freaking
I'm just
amazing.
gonna say I don't have that game. But I've been meaning to wanting to buy it.
Yeah, I check if it's on sale. There's a bunch of sales going on, but we could play it online. I played online with Sneaky, and
I'm so down.
and it seemed to run very smooth. And there's so many characters that you unlock that I still haven't unlocked. The music's like freaking amazing. Anyway, I just had to give that an honorable mention. But my
I
number
want to get it.
Definitely. That's I had to mention to people. Like I think people slept on it. It was really an amazing beat 'em
Yeah, I
up.
kind of forgot about it right now until you mentioned it.
Like yeah, it came out I think in the beginning of the summer. So
Yeah, I think
this,
so.
but the music. Oh my god, the music and just the look of it is it's just so. It's just it it, if you love beat 'em ups, I think it's the only thing that sucks is things only up to 3 players. Maybe I'm not sure. Anyway,
Right.
you can play online. You can't play online with fucking Battletoads. But anyway, Battletoads was garbage. The new
Fuck
Battletoads.
that.
So my real number five, drum roll. I had to put Mortal Kombat Ultimate. I mean, they added so much to that game this year. They added a story mode that took
Yeah.
place after the main story with Shang Tsung, who was the lead, what was amazing. They added freaking Shiva. They added freaking Fujin, and they added freaking RoboCop. And what blew my mind about RoboCop was it's RoboCop. They got the actor who played RoboCop in the movie to do the voice, Peter Welling, and like it's crazy to hear these developers say like, "Oh, we've always planned to have RoboCop since this game." I'm like, that's insane. But if you watch a RoboCop movie, you just think like, yeah, he's like ultra violence. He fits into the DNA of Mortal Kombat, and oh my god, the way he plays is perfect to me. He's one of my favorite new characters. I'm still hoping for Ash and Evil Dead.
Yeah, I've seen you. You're really good with RoboCop.
Wait till we fight.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, hell yeah.
then they went around and announced Combat Pack 2, I believe, because everyone believed that
Yep.
expansion, the Aftermath expansion, was Combat Pack 2, but apparently it wasn't. And they added fucking Rambo. They added Melina to the fans, and they added Rain. And I was a little skeptical about Rambo, but playing as him, I was just like, he's fun. He's a fun character. I
He's
have
really fun to play as.
and he fits into the Mortal Kombat DNA. It's so weird how they just nail it. And I'm really hoping that since they upgraded for next gen, that they are planning to add some more characters because I keep hearing rumors, but I also hear like stuff like maybe they're done with the game, which doesn't make sense. I don't know. So I'm really hoping for one more like there's a rumor there might be another story pack. So please, NetherRealm, add just keep adding. Like the combat in this game is so smooth. The look of this game is so smooth. I don't know if we need another Injustice 3, but I heard some crazy rumors that they might be doing. And I would take this very, very thin layer of salt, folks, but they may be working on a DC versus Marvel. Like Ed Boon has been tweeting some weird stuff, and people are just like, "Yeah, this is kind of," and he likes to troll, but
That shit would be wild,
it would
bro, if
be.
that was true.
And I keep telling
That'd be
people,
one of the most wild things ever.
yeah, if they took the Injustice ending and added it to Marvel and DC, they did DC versus Mortal Kombat, which was it was alright. But Mortal Kombat needs to be mature. It needs to be bloody. That's Mortal Kombat. It's called Mortal Kombat to fight to death.
We've never had Marvel versus DC.
You had any comics, but game wise, no, I don't think so. And I tell people this a lot that it and this is gonna happen. I'm predicting this right now. Maybe 10 years from now, we will see a crossover with DC and Marvel in the movies because they will fully either saturate the market or run out of ideas, and that would be the idea to get people back into theaters is to see Marvel versus DC. So you hear it here first. Hobos or Homes. Marvel versus DC movies will happen in the future. 10 years. I'm calling it. 10 years.
That'd be a crazy time, bro.
You know you're
Cars will be flying in the skies.
well, we're in
Hey,
2020 and we still got no
if there's
cars.
money to be made, anything's possible.
So that was my
Ain't that
five.
the truth, huh?
You want me to do four? We'll take turns. Or you want to do four?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
I mean, yeah, we could, all right, yeah, we'll just yeah.
Well, I mean, my four is a good segue to your five since year five was Animal Crossing. That is actually my number four. Was Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I think you nailed it out the park. I mean, the amount of stuff that you can do in that game is insane. You could customize the whole island. Like I made a theme park on my island. I made a Mortal Kombat arena on my island. It's
Yeah,
just
bro.
insane how much you could do in that game. Like
It's
that.
wild, bro. Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
true. I made my own freaking Mike Piazza jersey for my
Yeah, you
guy.
make clothes. You invite people over. You can download people's clothes. You got these events. I haven't even I haven't been in the game for like a month or so. I totally
I want to go back into it actually too.
yeah, because now it's snowing. I just missed Christmas in the game, so I don't like we're missing events. I missed Halloween in the game.
I got Halloween, but I missed Christmas. Fuck.
Yeah, but
Fuck me.
you nailed it. It is a game that will constantly keep on adding stuff, and even if it's not adding stuff, there's so much to it. There's so much layers to it, and just the look of it, it's a really fun, beautiful game that we will be playing
True.
for a very long time. And I'm always amazed
Absolutely, bro.
when Nintendo manages to surprise us with their franchises. It's something that Sony does too really well. And like with Zelda Breath of the Wild, you were like, "Oh, yeah, why haven't they not done a completely open world Zelda Breath of the Wild?" But when they like really made that open world, like you just go anywhere. Anyway,
Yeah, yep.
what was your number four?
Well, I think it's a good thing you did that because my number four is actually Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
Uh, I guess we'll call it what Mortal Kombat Ultimate. I guess.
oh yeah, that would have been my
You
four.
know,
I just realized Animal Crossing is over. Whatever. This is what happens when you change things last minute.
yeah. Hey, listen, it doesn't matter. Top five, top five. I mean,
It's on there.
yeah, that's all. You know, you just like the way you said. You know, like I hit the nail on. You know, most of the stuff for Animal Crossing. Same thing with you with Mortal Kombat. I'll just add that. Uh, you know, game. You know, obviously on the PS5 it loads faster. Uh, it looks a little, a little better. But I'll just say that like even playing it on PS4 and because and Xbox, I have it for PS4 and for Xbox.
Fallen.
Um, yeah, like it's just great. It's great on Xbox. It's great on PS4 or the upgrade on PS5. There's just to me, and I play fighting games lightly, but
What?
this was like the first fighting game in a while where I was just like blown away.
When was the last time you played a Mortal Kombat game? Let me ask you that.
Before this one,
Yeah.
8.
Also before nine, before the reboot. Because nine
Wait,
nine was the 2D one that came out on PS3.
Oh. Oh, wait. No, okay, I played
The,
wait.
the one that was just Mortal Kombat that was on PS3. That was like that's when they went back to 2D because before that it was all 3D on the GameCube and the PS2 and the Xbox. It was that whole Deadly Alliance Armor.
Actually, you know what? I forgot. I did play Mortal Kombat 10, but, like, very
Okay,
briefly.
okay,
But it's not because of the game that I played it briefly. It was just because I didn't get as sucked in.
yeah. That was a.
Whatever the reason,
I think the look of it. If you go back and
11
play,
really sucked me in.
yeah. Well, if you go back to 10, it looks a little cartoony and it moves really
Mhm.
like fast, or it's something different between the two games that people either it's like a melee situation where people are like melee is the best version of Smash Bros, which I was like I haven't played in a while,
Uh,
but I feel like it probably is, but with 11 it feels fast, but technically like 10 is faster. Like I went back and played 10 I don't know if it's a frame thing or a graphic thing, but it moves faster. But 10
yeah, from the people that I've heard, they've said that 11 plays slower.
yeah, which is weird because 11 feels fast. Like I don't.
I don't know. I wouldn't even be able to tell you
Yeah, it's
from my
yeah.
point of view.
Anyway, what else did you want to say about the Mortal Kombat? No?
Quick recommend. Yeah, with Mortal Kombat, my recommendation. The one thing I just want, I want to be able to like maybe put out there is I would love for them to just completely surprise us with a character pack one time, and like everybody would be like, "Oh, bro, like we're gonna get Reptile maybe, or we're gonna get like another '80s action hero or something."
Ash.
And I would, or Ash, right, or Michael Myers, and I would
Yeah.
just love if it was me, if I was Ed Boon, I'd be like, I'm gonna throw the ultimate curveball, and I would release a character pack with like sitcom dads as the character pack. I'm talking about like I put Carl Winslow in there, Tim Allen, maybe Ray Romano, okay, Ray Barone, and I would just throw like completely just like how cool would it be to just be like it would blow everybody's mind. Like I to be able to think like I could select Carl Winslow and just beat the shit out of people and rip their arms off and shoot their faces off with Carl motherfucking Winslow
Yeah,
or Tim the Tool Man Taylor, bro.
one of his opening lines, and he's like he's fighting Scorpion. Scorpion's like, "Who the hell are you?" He's like, "I shot a kid."
Or Carl's like, get out of here, Steve. Like he's like, can't you see I'm about to fight? Go home,
I
Steve.
mean,
Like
I follow that data
that would be
miner.
awesome.
Oh hell yeah, that's such a beautiful idea. I follow that data miner on Twitter who data mines every update, and he's been kind of quiet. But
Yeah.
he says that there are still like slots there that for characters they may or may not. So they maybe they want to add things, but Warner Brothers, since they work for it's a company, might be pushing them to do something different. Which I mean, Mortal Kombat 11 is their best selling Mortal Kombat. It feels like every time they release one, it's always their best selling, which is good. And they updated it for next gen. The only thing that worries me is that the last season of Combat League ended, so people are saying like they're just gonna repeat the seasons and bring back like gear and stuff for people to unlock. That kind of worries me a little. So I don't know. I hope they add more stuff.
Mhm.
Please. Please.
Yeah, 100%,
So what was your number 3 game?
100%.
What was your number 3 game? You go first.
My
Curious.
number 3. Okay, so I'm fucking
Number 3.
number number 3.
Oh, there you
All
go. That's
right.
good.
Number 3, I'll just say this, bros. Like, I'm gonna be real with you.
Hobos.
I'm gonna be real. Oh, yeah, that's right, true.
Hobo.
Hobros.
Oh.
That could be the name for the peoples out there, bro.
Yeah, they gotta
Hobros.
give people nicknames
Wow,
for
bro.
for
We're just
for,
this show is on fire.
for our internet army.
Let's see. Yeah. You're not legit until you have an internet army. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to hear
yeah.
it.
You're right. You're
If
right.
you don't have an internet army, get the fuck out my face.
Yeah.
All right,
What was your number
so
three?
Hobros out there.
Oh, bros.
I just want to say to all the Hobros out there, Danny, this list is subject to change because your boy, there's some games your boy in 2020 hasn't played yet, but is about to
Uh,
start playing. Like, for example, I know it took me, I don't, it took me a while, but this shit, it'd be like that, bro. I'm currently in the middle of The Last of Us Part 2. All right. I
Ooh,
know, I know, I know, I know. And I got Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
it's
I've already bought that when it first came out.
gonna disappoint you.
I'm gonna listen that, and I got Hyrule Warriors,
Oh yeah,
Age of
yeah.
Calamity I just got for Christmas. Okay.
Nice.
Um, there's some games that your boy, Watchdog Legions, uh, it- the list could, it's subject to change, could change.
What the fuck is your number
Um,
three?
all right. uh, shit. Hold on, Danny got a
my
gun to my head right now.
my man
Number
said I
three.
said number three, not three games.
Yeah, I had to put I had to put a disclaimer out there for the whole bros.
All right,
Because motherfuckers gonna be like, yo, bro, like,
yeah.
where's this game and that game? All right, so listen,
Full
number
disclaimer.
three, yeah,
It's cyberpunk.
number three, oh, fuck, oh man, number three is Hades.
Oh, I've been hearing a lot about that game. I wish I was into top-down dungeon crawlers, but yeah, what's so amazing about this game? Like it's been
Okay, I've been playing it recently on the Nintendo Switch,
oh,
and whenever like this is why one thing I love about the Switch is that you can just take that shit on the go with you, whatever.
fucking amazing.
And I've never I listen, it's a rogue, it's a rogue game, okay? And I've never been big on those types.
Same.
But this game, the story fits the play style of Rogue. Like you're the son of Hades, and essentially like you're trying to make your way out of hell basically.
Mm,
And you're trying to work your way out of there. And there's a whole story with it, a really, really great story along with it. Um, but God, the first off, the game is beautiful. The
yeah,
art is amazing.
I peeped that.
It's it is it's extremely polished. You're gonna die. It's you're made to have play multiple runs throughout the game, but it fits the story of you're the son of the god of the dead. Like, so you're gonna die, but you're every time you die, it's like, all right, you're trying to make your way out of here. So it fits that whole thing well. The story, that the lovely enough, the items you get, the gameplay is just so it's so enthralling, bro. Like, without spending too much time, it's a game that has everything going for it, but it takes that roguelike, system, and it makes it work
Huh?
with the story. And it's a game that you can just put a bunch of hours into, and just enjoy. And when you die, but you're like, fuck, man. Okay, maybe I'll try something different this run. Maybe this run I'll try, going this way. And you're never you're never sad or angry about having to go and try to make your way out again. I'll just put it like that.
Huh?
And I haven't beaten it yet, but it's already number three for me, which will tell you how fucking fantastic the game.
Damn.
By the time I'm done, it could be number one. I'll just say that
Ooh, I
it could
mean,
be.
I was with the Game Awards when it was a game of the war. It was a game of the year nomination. I was like, "What the hell is this game?" And I saw more and more of the people I watch on YouTube talk about it, and yeah, the look of it is really beautiful. That's just cell
Oh, it
shaded shit.
is. Everything,
Goddamn,
do the sound, everything. Yep.
goddamn. So yeah, Hayes number three. All right, all right. That
Yep.
that's actually surprised me there. I'm not gonna that. All right,
Threw a little screwball in there.
Yeah, you did. So here's my. I don't know if this is really gonna be a screwball, but
Hit us, Danny.
had to
Hit
had
us
to,
with it.
had to put on my list. Spider-Man Miles Morales. Uh,
Mm.
it did not disappoint, even though it may not have been as long as the last game. It didn't feel short. The story was as just as engaging. Miles was just as engaging. His abilities just as cool. I would have loved to experience this on the PS5. I played. I a couple weekends ago. I went to a friend's house who had a PS5 and played it on there, and yeah, that game looks gorgeous. And that controller, oof, that PS5 controller, mamma mia.
Oh, baby.
So yeah, I got to finally touch a PS5 controller. But yeah, Miles Morales, Spider Man. You know, I'm a sucker for superhero stuff. Um, yeah, I
Yeah,
think a
me
lot of
too.
people are probably gonna be shocked by what's coming up on my list regarding superhero stuff. But you know what? Well, you know. But yeah, Miles Morales. Hell, if you got a PS5 and that was one of your games, that was a really nice launch title. I played on the PS4. Still looked good. I mean, it had some weird glitches. I mean, I think there
Oh yeah.
was weird stuff popping up, but yeah, I can't wait for the next Spider-Man. But we've talked about this in a podcast. Um, you want me to do number two, or you want to do number two?
Um, I have a feeling what you're. Well, I have a feeling the game that's my number two is either your number one or number two.
Oh,
Um, so you know what? I'll do number two because then then it'll be a good segue to my number two.
well, I think my number two is gonna surprise you.
So maybe not. Go ahead.
My number two, and I finally get to talk about this damn game on the podcast, Star Wars Squadrons. That's my number two.
Oh,
Dude,
oh, that did surprise me. Oh,
Hobros,
yeah. Speak to the whole bros out there, Danny. Speak to them.
listen,
Speak to whole bro nation.
this game just got announced out of nowhere. And when I heard about it, I was excited till I heard that it was only in first person in cockpit view. And then I was like, fuck, I don't know how I feel about that. Because when I play anything flying, especially in Star Wars, is third person. So I was like, when the game came out, the reviews were like, "Oh no, it's really good. It's really good. It's like a spiritual sequel to." I thought they were making like a Rogue Squadron game, but it was actually a spiritual sequel to TIE Fighter versus X-wing, which was on the PC, which I never played, but heard stuff about. And so I got EA Play, so I could try like a 10-hour trial of the game. And let me tell you, I got sucked in. That cockpit view, ooh, Hobros.
Yeah, me either.
Just the
That cockpit, bro.
the detail within it, from the radar to your how you gauge your engines to how you could decorate it. All there's so much detail in this game that like you can tell was made by people that care about this franchise and get it and understand it. And all the ships feel how you would think they would feel and move how you think they would feel, and like it's such a good balance between the rebels and the empire, because the TIE fighters, they don't got shields, but they got speed, and you can mess with the engine so you can shoot more powerful. And there's still stuff that I'm like, the drifting and the boosting, there's so much like strategies and stuff you learn. And like I'm more playing online against other people, because like what at least with other people, the AI could be a little too much. Like, when I play, you could play online with the AI
True,
with your friends,
true.
but the AI is like an AI where they're like curving bullets, and I'm just like, okay, no, that's not how that
Yeah.
like from the def cam. And I'm like, when you play real people and you know how to drift, like I put a clip on YouTube where I literally didn't die for half the match because I was dodging so hard in just a basic TIE fighter. Like I literally defended my capital ships, then went to their ship and destroyed it without dying. Like I came close. I would tell people, go on the last streams on YouTube and watch that clip, because that like I was screaming the whole time, like, how am I not dying right now? This is insane. But yes, play Star Wars Squadrons if you're a huge Star Wars fan. You'll get over the first person cockpit view. It will suck you in, trust me. And if you have VR, which I play that game in VR, holy shit. I mean, I don't know how long I could play that game in VR without getting motion sickness, because I literally feel like I'm in the ship in the VR. But like, That game is pretty fun in VR, and that's why I got on a PlayStation 4 in hopes that one day I would get VR to be able to enjoy it. But I really hope they add more content to the game, and like we
I
play.
think they will.
I hope so because I definitely see it. I tell people like it feels like Rainbow Six Siege in space. That's the best way to describe that game because there's just different classes of ships that you can customize and put different abilities. But that is
Yeah,
my number two game of 2020.
yeah. I'll say just real quickly. I bought it because of only because of you. I had interest in trying it, but I bought it, and I'll say I haven't spent a whole lot of time playing it, nowhere near as much as you have, but
Yeah, I kind
it is a game. It is a game that is way better than what I expected it
right?
to
Yeah,
be.
it's a nice surprise.
And yeah, yeah, it is, and it's definitely something that now we're the holidays are ending, and it's something that I want to now, with things dying down and uh things should be a little bit more free
Yeah,
and more time I want to put more time into that game. um
yeah, definitely play the story mode. I forgot to mention
the new year coming.
there's a full-fledged story mode that's a lot better than Battlefront's 2 story mode, where it actually feels like there was a lot more thought put into it. Like because you play both sides as the rebels and empire, and even as the empire you actually get to be the empire because it gets side missions where it's like attack a civilian ships and you don't have to do it, but me being the empire, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna blow up this ship because I'm the empire, fuck them. But what was your number two?
All right, so that was your number two. Star Wars Squadron was your number two, right, Danny?
Yes, sir.
All right. So my number two is Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh,
And it was a I'll tell you, I'll be honest, it was a fight for number one. Um Ghost I'll just tell you like this, ho bros. I had no idea.
holy fuck.
I had no idea about this game, that this game was even a thing, until one random day we were talking, Danny, and you mentioned about, oh yeah, Ghost of Tsushima was coming out too.
Oh yeah, I remember
I didn't know what the Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck that was. I
that.
didn't have a clue about anything that had to do with that game.
Yeah,
So
they
you mentioned it, and I
yeah.
said, "Huh." Like once you explained it to me, I was like, "Huh." Like, this sounds interesting, especially when you told me it was a Sony exclusive. I was like, "What? What? Like, what the fuck?" Then when I did research, I was like, well, this looks pretty fucking badass, bro." But I'll be honest, the game, play, going into the game, is way, way different than even seeing the game, like any kind of trailers or whatever. The game, it really is unlike any game I've played, in terms of, like, it's so cool to play, a samurai single player, a story based, RPG, uh, samurai game with a
Yeah.
great story. Um, cool side quest, very interesting, different. Like playing a game with like samurai and all the stuff that the lore and things that come with it is just stuff that I don't really see a lot in video games.
And that
Like,
and that combat was like spot on.
oh, the combat is just, it is some of the most satisfying. Ghost of Tsushima combat is some of the most satisfying combat in video games. Like, beating, like, there's multiple play styles for the character, multiple play styles, multiple weapons, um just very, like, when I tell you, like, you can take down like, if you go to like a camp, let's say, there could be like maybe 12, 13 enemies there, and you could use an arsenal, your whole entire arsenal, different fighting styles, different, very different plans of attacks to your advantage. And it really makes you feel like you're some just god samurai badass, just tearing people to shreds.
Oh, you start
And
to
it's just what was that?
you start to feel like the Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Like just tearing through, and it's just so much fun, so satisfying to play. They added a co-op mode to the game. I haven't played it yet, but I know I want to play with
Oh,
you.
let
I know
me
you've played it. I want to.
yeah,
I want to try. I want to play with you
let
on
me
it.
let me shed some light on that co-op.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They did not need to go as hard as they did with that co-op because that co-op was a free download, and you would think like, what is it? Got a few modes.
True.
Dude, this shit got its own story mode. It's got its own survival mode. It's got its own raids. You unlock different gear and
That's
customization.
crazy,
It's
bro.
in like to be honest, I debated on putting Ghost of Tsushima on my list. Spoiler, it's not on my list. Because I was playing.
Really?
Yeah, sorry, folks. I've been playing like co-op for Sneaky. We beat the story mode, and just the amount of stuff you unlock for your character, and like that game feels even more amazing when you're hacking and slashing with friends, and there's like different classes. There's the archer, there's the healer, there's the self, there's the the main samurai, and
Really? I didn't know that.
dude, it's really in deep. Like it's insane. Like they really
Holy fuck.
went hard on that shit. So like,
What
yeah,
the
I really
fuck?
debated hard to be like, yo, that co-op's pretty dope. And like yeah, me and Sneaky, we definitely need like you and Alex to get on because like the survival we can't do the survival
Oh,
missions.
hell yeah. I
Cause
don't think Alex does Alex have it? I don't think he does.
I
Does he
feel
fucking
I
have it?
feel like he had it. I was talking about it. I don't know.
He
But yeah.
might. I don't know.
So that was your number two?
That was my number two, bro. My number two.
All right.
Number two.
So who wants to do number one first?
You know what? I'll take number one because it's a game you already mentioned,
Oh,
so I can
okay.
be pretty quick.
Oh. Oh.
Number one. Um, Number one. My number one game. My game of the year. Uh, of course, subject to change, possibly. Um, as I finish these games. Um, is Miles Morales on the PlayStation 5.
That's fair.
And you touched on I won't get into the gameplay of it because you've touched on it. And but one thing the things I will say is one of the things that they have done, Insomniac, whether it was, the first Spider-Man game where you play as Peter Parker, or this one, obviously, as you play as Miles Morales, there you won't find a game out there that provides as much heart as these games do.
Hell yeah.
Uh, it you know it, the different the different stuff that goes on through the story, the in this particular game, the ride that Miles goes on involving his mentor Peter, and to his family and friends, and in trying to balance his life as Spider-Man, while being uh Miles Morales, and they capture it perfectly is what I'll say. The balance between the your the Miles Morales and Spider-Man, it is captured perfectly. It shows the struggle beautifully. Uh One of the other things I also really like about it is I do relate to Miles Morales a lot, as you know Miles Morales is half Puerto Rican
Got that
and half
representation.
yeah, and half African American. And I think that it's really important, like, let's be honest, like, not every, there's a lot of superheroes that are white, and when you're
Vanilla white.
young, yeah, when you're young,
Mayonnaise.
mayonnaise. When you're young, Like, me and Danny are, we're two Puerto Rican kids from the Bronx, and being able to see, you know, a superhero, this Puerto,
That looks like
from
us.
outside, yeah, that looks like us, and he's, you see the Puerto Rican flags represented, and the his mom and some of the stuff like the cookies and the food that you see there in the kitchen, like that's stuff that I've never really seen at all in
That's
video
fair. No,
games.
I 100% agree with that. That playing that game, I was like, oh man, especially where I live right now. Yeah.
Right. So
So
like seeing that it makes it more it hits home a little bit more. Obviously, it is set in where is it? It's in Harlem, right? Harlem or Brooklyn?
no,
Which one was it?
it's Harlem.
Harlem, yeah. Um Set in Harlem, and it's just so that was a very important part a part of it. And the other thing is
You beat it?
God, yeah, I beat it.
Oh, nice.
And let me just tell you, the
What?
game that on the PS5, oh my
Woo! Yeah, I
lord.
know. That rumble. Goddamn.
It, the controls is but I'll just say this. I can turn on the PS5 and press start on the game to get from the dashboard of the PS5 to on the streets ready to take off with Spider-Man. Like it literally takes about a minute.
That's crazy.
I'm not even I'm not bullshitting you.
That's crazy.
It's like instantly. Yeah, it blows my mind how just you right away you're into the game, and it is so beautiful. It's so beautiful, the game. Um and yeah, so it's everything that I love about video games because it checks off. What's maybe one of the negative things I could say is that it's a little short. It's not as long as
But it doesn't feel short, right? Like it feels like
it doesn't.
it's like you got a good chunk, but
That's the thing.
you want more. I think that's what it is.
That's
You
the thing. Right, right. I think that's the important thing is that you're not. It doesn't it doesn't leave you. It's not short to the point where you're like, fuck, like you feel a little empty or you feel like left hanging. That's not the case. It's not like that. It's just the fact that you're like, damn, like I want more. And but I listen. There is going to be more coming. There's obviously going to be DLC uh coming to the game. I would think, right? I would think DLC is gonna.
um well, when this game was coming out, they compared it to that Uncharted Lost Legacy game, which was kind of its like own thing.
Right, right.
So don't I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I won't say no. Insomniac is way too generous to a fan base that's
Yeah,
way too mean to it. Um, and honestly, I don't know if I want to see DLC.
true.
I kind of want Spider-Man 2 because what they're setting up for Spider-Man 2 is exciting, especially with that you saw that end credit scene. So
Yes.
so they mentioned another character there. I was just like, ooh,
I would say that if they do release DLC, it probably won't be like the first one where they had a couple of was it like two different or three different
it was three. They were
parts
all
to it?
yeah, they were all right. They weren't anything
Yeah, but
crazy.
they were all right. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. It was just a couple things to do.
It was like taking on
Uh,
some D list Spider-Man villains.
right. I see them releasing at least one DLC for
Maybe.
Miles Morales, but I don't see it being anything like crazy, crazy.
Yeah. I don't, yeah, maybe. Well, that was your number one. That's awesome. That I think that would have been my number one if my number one game didn't exist this year, and that number one game
Number one.
is Fast and Furious Crossroads. Yeah, baby.
Oh
Family.
fuck.
Listen, when you get in this
What the
when when you turn this game on and it takes 10 minutes to turn on, and then you see Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez introduce you into that one mission, then you never see them again for the rest of the game.
fuck?
You keep playing because you think like, nah, let me stop.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, family. Anyway, all right. My number one game,
Jeez.
the controversial Last of Us 2. Um,
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I mean, I understand why there's controversy to this game, but I feel like the same kind of controversy is what happened with The Last Jedi. And you can compare these two because these two franchises at the time really were about telling an engaging story that didn't have to do with fan expectations or what should be done. This was like a real story. And that's something that kind of blew my mind that people got so I'm not gonna, I mean, should we get into spoilers? Oh, I mean, I guess you haven't finished the game, so we won't get into spoilers. We'll have a
I'm in
spoiler.
the middle of it, yeah, so maybe yeah.
Um, but I mean, you know the main thing where, yeah, okay, this happens in the beginning of the game. Big spoiler. You don't want to find out if somehow you don't know about this. Congratulations. I want to know what planet you live on, where you use the internet, and this hasn't been spoiled for you. But here comes the Last of Us 2
Yeah, I
spoiler.
mean, I knew I was gonna be playing this game, and I still that this part still was spoiled for me, which is
Well,
unavoidable at this point at that
well,
point.
I think you were watching me stream it too. So
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, like, even if I wasn't streaming, I mean, watching you stream that point, I still would have found out later on because
yeah,
people were fucking it was like a fucking just shit show.
yeah. So um, final warning: Last of Us 2 spoiler. I'll tell you when to tune in. I don't know, but anyway, big shock. Joel dies, and I mean, a lot of people kind of, I think, had theories that maybe I mean, me going into the game, from what I saw from the trailers, it made it seem like Ellie's girlfriend died, and that would set her on the path to revenge, and Joe was going to join up, and they're gonna. But I think maybe that's what people thought from the impression of the trailers. Um, I honestly, the story itself kind of justifies his death. I don't want to go too much into. I don't know where exactly you are, but um, I think people are upset that how it went down. Um, but they like fail to understand that if this game is a lot about details, and I want to replay it when it's been enough time, because the reason this game is the game of the year for me, because it was such a journey. Like when you switch over in the midpoint. I hope I'm not spoiling this too. Uh, John, where are you in the game?
Um, Again, I'm not that far. Uh, which part would I say I'm at? I'm not that far. Let's just say that. Like, I'm not even okay. I guess I could pinpoint it where
But are you aware of what happened? Like they're not story wise, but like gameplay wise, something kind of shifts.
no,
Okay.
no.
All right.
You know,
Well,
I literally just I just because I just what happened. I was planning on playing Cyberpunk, but then that turned into a shit show. So then I started playing The Last of Us 2. And I
all right.
just
All right.
started the deep yesterday.
I got you. I won't spoil it. All right. Well, I will use this key phrasing as to, you play the whole game and you will take it either as a revenge story or as a story of forgiveness. And there's been very much debates between, is this just purely a story about revenge, or is this a story about forgetting, yada yada yada. But the mechanics they do with the gameplay, I feel, might have upset people, but at the same point, from a story point, it is a very interesting dynamic what they do. And I mean, I have complaints. I can't go into it too much without ruining it for John here. But is it a perfect story? No, it's not a perfect story. Did Joel deserve to die? I mean, Joel wasn't a saint. I think people, you know, Naughty Dog hit it out the park, making you feel his sorrow for his daughter dying, and then you know gamers are a sucker for a dude with a grouchy dude with a beard that beats the shit out, who's extremely violent. And then you met Ellie, who every gamer dad wanted to be their surrogate daughter, because she was like the cursing little child, the little murder girl. That's like popular with like Kick-Ass and Hicker or
One
whatever.
thing I'll chime in with, yeah, one thing I'll chime in real quick about that is, hey, for the people out there, bro, sometimes the people you really, really like, sometimes they don't live a long, peaceful life. Sometimes shit just happens and they fucking die. That's just how the world works, bro. Okay. So, I don't listen. I liked Joel. I wouldn't have mind seeing more of the Joel in but listen, I think one thing that they were kind of showing is that actions have consequences, and sometimes people just die.
Exactly.
You
And
know,
sometimes people like this is the thing that drives me crazy is like and then from the beginning of the game, you see that he's in this small gated community. He's not living where he was before, like pretty where he was in like a gated community, but it was with armed guards and there was curfews and they couldn't go to certain places. So he had to always keep his guard up. So he let his guard down, you know? And I don't it's gonna be a
true.
it's gonna be a
Also, he like you said, he pissed off a lot of people in the first one.
yeah,
Let's
and
not forget that. He
that's
Joe did a lot of shit because he wanted to do it because he felt like that's what he wanted to do.
yeah,
That
you
was his, you know,
that
actions
was
have
his that
consequences, man.
yeah, that whole game, that whole moment from the first game, they explore so much in detail in this one. And I just really love that the story did not give a fuck. Like it was just like, here, we're gonna tell you this story, and like you're not gonna like seeing your hero die. And Joel's not the best role model. You can find better role models to be honest. But I like Joel too, and I was upset too. But as I play the game more, I understand
Sure.
why what
Yeah.
happened, and it's just such an interesting dynamic what they do with the gameplay that I'm just trying, bite my tongue. But, like, it was just such a journey. It was an emotional journey for me. Towards the end, I felt something I never felt in a game where I was just like, I don't want to do
Yeah.
this. Like I literally felt like I don't want to do this moment, which in any other game would be like a great big moment where I'm just like, I gotta do this. I gotta, win the day and hit the credits, feel better. And when the credits roll in this game, you sit there just thinking like, wow, I don't know how I feel. Not normally how I feel when I beat a game. Like this was something kind of real, even though it's not, but just felt real. Like it just felt messy and human, I guess. And I mean, from the story aspect to the
Yeah.
graphics to the combat, oh my god, the fact that you can choose to play however you want, like it's encouraged to be stealthy, but they give you so much more ways to fight in this one. So if you don't want to be stealthy, and that's why I'm like, please, where is the multiplayer mode of this? Because they are working on it. It's gonna be its own game because they have some great ambitions for them. I'm really curious, but I
I
mean,
feel you.
if they do a part three. I don't know if they can do a part three for where it ends up. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I would love to go back to that world, even though it is a brutal world with uncomfortable moments. I think it's something that is so rare in video games to make me feel like uncomfortable, and that is why it's my game of the year. Like especially in this year, it was like, damn, dude, that was like an experience. That was something, and I can't wait to hear what you
Hey,
say.
I'm having a. I listen. I'm pretty early into the game, but I'm loving what I'm seeing and what I've played and what I'm seeing so far. So
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'll definitely, once I'm done with it, I'm definitely gonna bring it up and well, I'll be done with it by the next show. So the next show I'll be able to have my I'll share my opinions about it on air with the whole bro army.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what you say. It,
Yeah,
it's a deep game, and there's like a lot of details people miss towards the end, especially that I missed. That people on the internet were like, "Well, if you look at it this way," I'm like, "Oh shit, you're right." So that's my game of the year, and Ghost of Tsushima. I wish I could have put on my list. I'm trying to think of other games. I even thought about Marvel's Avengers, but we all know, the whole world is shitting on it, and I don't think it deserves that much grief. I think there's a really good game there, but needs a lot of work. Uh,
With that game, with Marvel Avengers, I I I wanna hold it and cuddle it and give it a peck on the forehead,
yeah.
and then I wanna take it and beat the fuck out of it. And then I
Yeah,
wanna pick it up and give it a hug and dust it off, and then I wanna take it and fucking throw it out the window and set it on fire.
see, there is a bright future because they finally released Kate Bishop, and it showed the world, because this game is a this first service, and it showed them like, hey, here's a new character, here's a story. Like the story wise, the story is interesting. Like the characters work. It's just like the game itself is struggling to come up with new content. Because even as you play Kate's story, you're kind of going through the same levels you've been going through. And you're not really finding anybody really new till towards the end. And yeah, Kate's freaking fun to play as, but yeah, they really gotta
We
come up
need
with
more, bro, we need more,
it
and
will
the time is ticking,
yep.
and I don't know if they'll be able to ever recover, Danny.
Yeah, it'd be fucking hilarious if this game doesn't recover and they don't make it to Spider-Man. And all the people that were bitching about this Spider-Man exclusive are like, "Ha, you never got it."
Oh, oh, man. By the way, this roast beef sandwich from Arby's is hitting right now, bro.
You got a roast beef sandwich from
I got a
Arby's.
roast beef